A Tucson migrant shelter is teaming up with other shelters across the Southwest to raise awareness about what they call the dangers of the Trump administration's Remain in Mexico policy. The shelters have developed a campaign called Unintended Ties. While in U.S. custody, officials take shoelaces from asylum seekers so they don't harm themselves. But when they're sent to Mexico wearing shoes with no shoelaces, they're being targeted by cartels. News 4 Tucson's FINK has more on what the campaign aims to do.
Tucson's KVOA-TV program serves as a temporary refuge for migrants and asylum seekers.
The way we've been working the asylum process of taking families into our shelters, it's a system that has been working. We've been able to take in families, give them the resources they need, and help them go across the country.
PINA-LOPEZ is the program manager at KOZACHIK. He says the Trump administration's migrant protection protocols is dangerous, especially for migrant children. Lopez says border officials remove kids' shoelaces when they get picked up on our side of the border, but they get off the bus in Mexico without the laces.
Their shoelaces are removed, and they're excellent targets for the cartel, which is just devastating for us to see the families struggling here, but recognizing the far harder struggles that they're facing once they're being dropped off across the border.
News 4 Tucson reached out to the Tucson Sector Border Patrol about the Unintended Ties campaign. A spokesperson says they are awaiting a response from CBP. Tucson City Councilman Steve KOZACHIK hopes the Unintended Ties campaign will show the federal government the return to Mexico policy doesn't work.
You can't put a scarlet M on their migrant to go back across the border. You got to, clothe them, give them shoelaces, make them fit in with the crowd so that a gang member or a cartel member can't look at their feet and say, oh, by the way, there's somebody who's not connected to this community. They're easy pickings.
KOZACHIK argues our local shelters are the places that keep asylum seekers of all ages the safest.
KOZACHIK says there's 400 to 500 volunteers in our community who help provide food and clothing for the people coming to KOZACHIK on a regular basis. I'm FINK, News 4 Tucson.